Hey guys. Um, so I wanted to talk to you guys about something. I'm doing two videos tonight. This one's gonna be something a little different, but the next one will be a follow-up of the questionnaire, of the Q&A. I get asked this question a lot, and I think it needs to be addressed. Many of you heard me call myself a two-spirit person, or someone who identifies as two-spirit. And when I first started dancing and following my traditional ways, that word was still very new. Hi. I guess I can get comments on here now. Two-spirit, it's not the traditional teachings of two-spirit is not somebody who identifies as gay, lesbian, transgender, or bisexual. Two-spirit is a spiritual existence. It is somebody who acknowledges the fact that, hold on, I'm reflecting my glasses. It's somebody who lives not gender fluid per se, but by someone who doesn't follow what is considered the norm. There are different words for these special individuals, for these sacred individuals in us and a lot of indigenous nations, but out of fear for mispronouncing them, I'm not going to say them. I'm sure you guys can take the time in your life or something or to look them up. Two-spirit. A person who's two-spirit is somebody who acknowledges their responsibilities are more intimate with spiritual connection. In basic meaning, let's say, like for me, I am physically male, as you can tell. I identify as male. But that does not mean that I identify spiritually as male. I have two spirits. The male, the masculine spirit, and the female. I acknowledge both. I live my life, I dress the way I want to. I wear women's clothes, not necessarily like dresses and stuff, just more like jeans and shoes and shirts sometimes. And I wear a lot of jackets. I love jackets. And I wear men's clothes, or I'll mix the two, whichever. It does not matter to me, because that's my freedom. In terms of the powwow, I happen to be a jingle dress dancer, which is a sacred women's healing dance, and I have come across people who do not believe that I should be wearing the dress. And I remind them that they need to get past their colonial upbringing and remember that there are responsibilities that I hold, that I am a carrier of, that go beyond their own roles. I wear the dress to bring healing to the two-spirit community. There are a lot of two-spirit people who I have met who have a hard time coming to terms with who they are. Either that, or they have relatives who cannot accept them. I did not take this responsibility per se upon myself, but I'm wearing the dress to heal myself and to heal our communities and to bring a powerful spiritual tradition and responsibility back. And I'm not saying that our traditional ways will be fully intact. Unfortunately, a lot of it's been lost. What I'm saying is, I can bring what I know back into our sacred circle. Two-spirit people were considered so sacred It used to be an honor, considered an honor, to have a two-spirit person dancing at a powwow, whatever regalia they have felt connected to the most. Now, bear in mind, you have to know about the regalia you're wearing, where it comes from, the meaning, the responsibility, and who you are when you're wearing that regalia. It's not just about putting a regalia on and saying, I'm going to go dance. You have to understand what exactly you're doing in that regalia when you dance. And if you can't answer that simple question of why are you dancing in that regalia, you gotta reevaluate what you're doing. That's what I was taught by very traditional people who do acknowledge my identity more than I probably am able to right now because I'm still young. And I came across an elder who is an Anishinaabe. He is my elder now. He says he wants to be my elder, and I said I welcomed that with open arms. He gave me teachings that go so far back that unless I'm asked what they are, I do not feel like repeating them because they are personal, but it reminded me and it showed me that I'm actually fulfilling my ancient responsibilities for being a two-spirit. While the jingle dress was gifted to our people by the spirits and was gifted to our women to help heal. It is healing for our people to dance. It is healing to hear those cones, to hear those bells, to hear all of the ornamentations of each category's regalia. Men and women can bring healing to the circle in very sacred ways. But traditionally, there would be a cosmic healing when a two-spirit person walked into that arena and danced as hard as they could, because they can call on a whole new level of spiritual cleansing that needed to happen. That's what I was told. And I'll tell you a little story, and this story still strikes me to this day because it happened to me. I was in Saging last year for a powwow, an outdoor powwow for 2 days. I was there for 2.5, but 2 days. And I came across an elder, women's traditional elder, who danced very hard, and she looked at me and she pointed at me with a very serious face and said, I thank Creator, I see you here today. And I was caught off. I was like, what? She says, it's about damn time the two spirits came to this community and started dancing. She says, your spiritual responsibility to this community is to show healing to those who are confused, those who do not believe in you, and those who do not know how to be accepting. You're going to bring the healing that we've been needing for 150 years. And I said to her, I was like, I feel honored that you say that to me, and I ask you, how do you view people like me? She says, you guys are sacred. She said, I bet you not many people know the teachings behind what your responsibilities are, who you are. She says, but I'm fully aware of them. And she thanked me. I passed her tobacco and I said, thank you. She says, no, thank you for coming. She says, there are people here who will tell you to take that dress off because you're not a woman. Don't listen to them. Everyone has a healing journey to start in their lifetime, she said. And we need to start ours. And you're going to help us. She says, your generation will help us. And I almost started crying because I felt so accepted. And when I was brought into the Powell Circle at the age of 22, no, 20, geez, it's been that long, my auntie brought me in. Because she said she never wanted to see a two-spirit member of her family cut off from their culture because some people couldn't accept them. She fought every second for me so that I could wear that dress. And I still get a little choked up over it. And for my gratitude for all, I can't even tell you how the things that she's done for me, but for her gratitude, I gave her an eagle feather. And I want to remind people on here, those who do support me or those who don't understand what the role of a two-spirit person is, we were peacekeepers. We were child caregivers. We were protectors. We were educators. We helped create laws. We helped enforce them. We used to help identify a future chief. We were able to communicate with the spirit world and ask for visions for help. We were able to learn about we knew a deep spiritual medicine that people couldn't access. And we were once considered leaders ourselves. And it used to be considered an honor, a privilege, a sacred gift to have a two-spirit person in the family. And my biological parents, unfortunately my mother has passed on, but she would have accepted me no matter what. I know that for a fact. She's a First Nations woman. But my father, my biological father, he loves me, and the person who I call an elder teaches him about who his kids are and about the responsibilities and how far they're gonna go in life. And that elder who I'm talking about told me he is so proud of me. He almost started crying because he saw a young person dancing, fulfilling their role. One thing that I was always told is, when you start dancing and you know your teachings, don't demand respect. You still have to earn it. But be so humble when you earn the respect from people. I've been dancing for almost 4 years now. And I have earned respect from people who I never even imagined would acknowledge me. And I love the respect, and I hold it so dear to my heart. And I respect everybody. Even if they don't like me, I still respect them. Because that's their opinions. I dance in the jingle dress because it helps bring healing that I felt that I needed when I had pain in my life. I suffered a lot of hardship, not from my upbringing, but from losses that are recent, and they were losses that impacted me profoundly. And I was told traditionally you needed to have a dream or dreams to wear the jingle dress. I had 4. I had 4 vivid dreams of the jingle dress that I was to wear. And I was told those are dreams from Creator. And I can go to any powwow in Winnipeg now and ask people, can you see me in a men's regalia? Can you picture that? Or do you see me in women's regalias for the rest of my life? To my kind of not surprised, but also proud moment, everybody who I asked that question to said, you've earned your place in that jingle dress, and we can't wait to see you start dancing Frenchy show. And I asked them, what about the men's outfits, the men's regalia? And they said, if you put that on, you're disrespecting the men because you are lying to yourself. And at first I was thinking to myself, what the heck does that mean? But then it dawned on me. I may recognize my female spirit so much in my jingle dress that if I were to even touch a men's regalia, knowing that I don't belong in one, because I've proved myself to Creator that I belong in a jingle dress, I would be disrespecting not only that regalia, but I'd be lying to myself and disrespecting my identity as a two-spirit person. I could dance in it, but I don't know the steps to any men's dances, and frankly, I'm not meant to dance men's dances. So, I wanted to inform people of this because I've come across, and actually I wanted to tell, this is another topic that I really need to get off my chest. Competition powwows and traditional powwows. I've been asked several times in past videos if I do dance competition. I do. I have no competitive bone in my body. I could not care less for the competition. To me, it's a powwow. I get to dance, and I send off prayers for those who need them. If I do compete, it's for some weird reason, but I could not care less if I win or lost, because to me it's about dancing. And that's why I get respect for that too, because I understand that it's not about winning, it's about showing the love for your culture and your traditions and your spiritual responsibilities as a dancer. I do dance traditional powwows more than often, and I go to those more. You see, for me, I don't have a personal preference. It's a powwow to me. It's a ceremony to celebrate life. And what better way to celebrate life than to dance? And of course, I've been taught a lot of teachings from the powwow circle, and everyone has their own perspective on the teachings, and that's okay. I have my own views on the teachings for powwows and ceremonies, and that's okay. That doesn't mean that they're right or wrong. It just means that they're my views. I'm a bit modern with my views, but I also know when to respect the traditional views and the traditional responsibilities of a powwow dancer and the traditional teachings of the powwow. I'm not afraid to question teachings when I know I have the right to. And it's not about disrespecting that teaching, it's about learning in depth what you're asking, as long as you know what you're asking. And for me, I don't ask questions that I know I shouldn't. I know I'm looking away, but the camera's actually right here, but I'm looking away because I like looking at the screen. I don't know why, I've always been like that. Just so you know. But for me, I just wanted to get that off my chest because I'm not a competition dancer, but I do dance it anyway. The number I couldn't care less about. To me, it's non-existent. So, yeah. The next video I'm about to do will be about my regalia and traditional teachings and stuff like that. So, stay tuned and I'll give you another video right away. Miigwech, walalin, aho.